Hello everybody and welcome to our live studio show here on MXGP-TV.com with me, Paul Malin and Lisa Leyland. It's round 14 of the FI Motocross World Championship and this is the MXGP of Flanders at the notoriously sandy circuit of Lommel in Belgium. Coming up on our studio show today we have Chambers KTM rider Cas Valk. He's obviously not racing this weekend, but we thought, you know what, we're in his neighbourhood, kind of. Let's bring him on the studio show, see how he's getting on. And, of course, Stefan Everts, who was world champion in 1996 and 2006. So as we are in 2026, we thought it would be nice to bring him in to talk about his titles that he won in 96 and 2006. Before we go anywhere, though, here we are, Lisa Leyland, once again, our final run of 3. I'm not sure how many 3 in a row we've had to this point, but we're back on the beach. Are you all sun creamed up, ready for a little bit of sunbathing?
I was in the paddock this morning. It's got a super cool vibe here, hasn't it? It's something about this place here in Lommel that is just different to other circuits. It's got that energy, hasn't it? Yeah. But I'm super pumped, ready to go.
And a lot of industry here this weekend as well. There's that one aisle, you know, that one sort of street. A lot of things going on.
There's a lot happening this weekend in the paddock. I'm super busy. A little socialite this weekend.
Yeah, and actually, if you are here this weekend, just in and around the paddock, we've got we're celebrating 30 years of In Front and Youth Stream, of course, 1996. A lot of World Championship bikes from the past 30 years or so down there inside the paddock area. So if you're there, have a look. It's free to browse around and enjoy the weekend. Anyway, let's crack on with our show and bring in our first guest, Cas Valk, Chambers KTM Racing. We've been missing him since, I think, round 5. We had that break where we returned in France, and then, of course, there was no Cas Valk on the line. Just put the cable over the shoulder there. And then, but yeah, great to have you here, Cas. First of all, I'm sure you would love to be out there riding around this racetrack here in Lommel, but you're not. You, as we mentioned a moment ago, you did break your leg earlier on in the season. How bad was the injury? How's recovery going? And how are you feeling, first of all?
First of all, I'm feeling good. Happy to be at least back in the paddock. For sure, I would have preferred to ride here because it's sand. I'm Dutch, so it's it's the best ground to be riding. My injury, actually it was a good injury, like a good break. The leg broke, but it was not too complicated.
But it was femur, yeah?
It was the femur, so it wasn't too complicated. It was just straight, so they fixed it with a pin, screws. So pretty soon I could already put some pressure on it. I was actually on the bicycle already after 4 weeks, so that's actually extremely quick. Also walking already after 5 weeks. Of course not perfect walking, but at least little steps are little steps. But actually it's been going really good to recovery. But still it's a leg, so you don't want to rush anything. You want to let the bone heal good, properly, before I get back on the bike. So, but I hope to be back on the bike very soon, so that's positive news.
I heard you were itching to come back at the moment. So if you could put a time frame on it, where would you hope to be able to make a comeback?
I hope
just to be back on the bike, first of all.
Yeah, I hope to be back on the bike before Arnhem, so like 1 week before Arnhem. Of course, I would not be racing in Arnhem because when you are 1 week back on the bike, it's still way too early. So I hope that's my plan. So I hope I have an appointment Monday at the doctors to see what they think and make a picture. So let's hope we can make that, and then we need to see from there. Of course, when I get back on the bike, first of all, I need to be kind of pain-free with riding. Of course, it's normal when you feel it a little bit, but when it's too bad, it's better to take more time because actually I have nothing more to lose or to win this year. You know, the season I missed already so many races. So that's the plan, to be back, and then we go from there and see.
Yeah. Well, you started the year with TM. Okay, that didn't go to plan. You're now with Chambers KTM Racing. How was that going, Cas, before you picked up the injury?
With Chambers?
Yeah. No, actually, it's really grateful that they could help me out in the middle of the season, of course. So big thanks to them. It was actually going really well. I did one race, a Dutch Masters Championship. I managed to win that race. Regained the points lead as well in that race, so I was feeling really good. And then at the next round, I was feeling again good. I set the fastest qualifying lap. And then a lap later it went wrong and on a little jump, and I broke my leg there. So yeah, it went wrong, but it went really good before that. So that was really positive. So at least I can look on back something that was going really well before it went wrong, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You seem to have a little thing for British teams, don't you? Because you raced for Sean Simpson before. You won a British title with them. Now you're with Chambers. Is part of the deal with Chambers to race the British Championship as well?
Yeah, it's part of the deal. This year, of course, I missed already a lot of British Championships even before I got injured. So it was actually at that point was the main priority to race the Dutch Masters Championship and try to finish that one. Of course, I didn't finish it, but yeah, the plan is still there is one more British Championship late in the year. So the plan is to do that one for the team. So of course I need to be good, riding well, you know, and then I will be doing that one for sure for the team.
Some riders tend to sort of favor a particular bike, you know, they feel like, oh, I'm either a 250 or a 450 rider, or I'm a Honda rider or a Kawasaki rider or whatever else. Obviously you're on a KTM at the moment. At this stage in your career, do you feel that's a good fit for you? Like, is that a bike that suits you well and has done in the past?
Yeah, of course. You can look back on the last. I already did 2 seasons on the KTM bike. I think I fit really well on it because I'm also a little bit taller than some riders. So it fits good when you are a little bit taller. So for sure that helps. KTM bike has been pretty good to me. Actually, I've been riding always well on it. So yeah, that's positive. Cool.
Well, I guess you've been at home watching the MX2 Championship this year. What has surprised you the most, Cas, from the championship battle that you've seen?
Yeah, actually, for sure, I think it was surprising to see that Simon went really well in the beginning of the year, and then he had some more difficult races. It's good to see that he's getting back where he should be, you know. I think the most interesting to see is how Ferris is riding at the moment. It's actually nice to see. So yeah, it's nice that like Triumph mix it up for the championship. You know, it's good to see. It's been actually always KTM that was kind of dominating it. So yeah, it's a fun battle to see. Yeah,
makes it a bit more exciting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How's Lynn? Because she broke her leg in Arnhem, didn't she? But I think she had a few complications, didn't she? What were the complications, and when can we perhaps expect to see her back? Yeah,
her injury was a little bit more complicated actually than mine. She broke it on 4 places, so it was a tough one. And actually, it was going really quite well, but she always kept having some pain. So yeah, she went to the doctors and they checked everything, and the best thing to do then at the time was to take 2 screws out. It's I think now 3 weeks ago. It was just before Fox Hill. So yeah, she was not able to ride in Fox Hill. That was a really shame for her, but she should be back in Arnhem. She starts riding again this week, so she should be fine for Arnhem, and I will be there to support her, and hopefully she can make a good race there.
Yeah. Cas Valk on the pit board.
Yeah.
Finally, when you do get back to racing, if you get back sort of towards the end of the year and get to racing again in the World Championship, what would be your ideal goal? Just to get through it, or would you have a particular position in mind?
Of course, you always have your own goals. You don't want to go racing when you're not fit. You know, you want to go racing when you think you can be inside the top 10 for me, for sure. And even though I'm aiming higher than top 10, you know, I'm aiming more for top 5s. But of course, this year, I think if we will still race a race, I think I just need to don't have any expectations, to just go there and build again, you know. But for sure, for next season, for example, my goals are for sure again top 10, but even better than that, for sure, top 5. Yeah.
Well, look, Cas, great to see you. Glad to hear that the recovery is going well, and yeah, all the best with the rest of the recovery, and hope to see you on a bike again soon.
Thank you.
Enjoy your
Thanks,
weekend
guys.
here.
Thank you.
Before Stefan Everts gets in to join us in a moment, here's a little bit of a snippet from episode 12 of Behind the Gates, Green and Gold. Here's an intro to the round in South Africa, and that is from Terratopia. Enjoy. South African Grand Prix makes its return then for the first time since 2008, when Tommy Searle and Jonathan Barragan were victorious in MX2 and MX1 respectively. But the first time we went there was 1985. Jackie Vimond, the Frenchman, was the first ever winner there at Corabrik. Well, there were also 3 other occasions when we went there to Sun City, but this circuit here, Terratopia, a brand new venue, very wide, very flowing. First impressions look amazing. You come in from the highway or from the access road, and this track just appears out of nowhere, and you're like, wow, hills, elevation, big jumps, had everything. And talking to the riders first thing, everybody wowed by it. The only thing then was to get on track and just to see exactly how this racetrack rode. But first impressions, very, very impressive indeed.
Here we go, ladies and gents. MXGP is back in South Africa.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to part 2 of our live studio show here on MXGP-TV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Lane. We're just waiting for Stefan Everts to show up. He's just in the VIP, just in the middle of a signing session there, which has gone on a little bit longer than expected. Lisa, here we are, and we're about to speak to Stefan, and we're going to be talking about World Championships that were won in 2006, and even before you were born in 1996.
You know me too well, Paul.
So you don't really know much about his career, so this is going to be a bit of an education for you, even though you know he's a 10-time world champion.
Yeah, I mean, but I was at the celebration last night, 30 years, and it's just, you're looking at all these bikes, and you see that Stefan's bike, and it's like, it is taking a trip down that memory lane, and just how things have changed and evolved over the years. But having my script here on Stefan, I'm like, you know, he was hugely successful, but the story of his championships, I don't know, honestly, a huge amount about.
Yeah.
Because it was so many years ago. But it would be, I think it's perfect having him in this weekend.
Yeah.
Just to find out, you know, bring it all back, doesn't it?
And obviously, as I said, we're in 2026, so they're kind of anniversary years.
Yeah.
96, 30 years ago, 2006 when he was his 10th world title, his last world title, so 20 years ago. You know, and so from that side, and being at home, his home Grand Prix, which he won on several occasions, his World Championship that he won in 2006, he won in Namur, the famous, iconic circuit south of where we are now. So yeah, I know it's a busy weekend. Obviously, got their fan club stuff up there, and he's just very, very popular wherever he goes.
I bet for Stefan though, it doesn't feel like it's 20 years ago. I bet it just probably feels like yesterday, especially when we show him these clips. He's gonna bring it back to him. But yeah, this weekend is super busy. Like, we did a paddock tour with Liam Everts yesterday, and I literally, Paul, had to queue up to get to him. But he's super cool, super grounded. He's actually enjoying the attention. But it is a lot going on. I think it's a lot going on. But Lommel is that racetrack that everyone wants to be at. This is the event where everyone's here. You've got all the sponsors here. You've got the fans here. You've got everyone from the industry right here. And Stefan and Liam are pretty much going to be right at the heart of it this weekend, aren't they?
They are. And as you mentioned just a moment ago, like, you walk up and down. Lommel is kind of one of those Mecca GPs, isn't it, where everybody wants to be here. Yeah. We've got all the major clothing manufacturers here with their big hospitalities. They're all pretty much unveiling their new lines for next year. And, even people outside of that, there's some of the teams have got their big hospitalities here this weekend because all the workshops are dotted around here. And you feel it. It's got a very busy, energetic vibe to it, doesn't it?
This
place?
morning, it was kind of almost like the calm before the storm. I was at the track super early, well, around 8 o'clock, had my coffee, and you can just started seeing like things starting to wake up. By 10 o'clock, packed.
Yeah.
On a Saturday morning, packed. And even, Paul, the start practice yesterday, I don't know if you were there, but usually start practice is just kind of like teams, the riders. So many fans were just there just to see the bike, see what was going on. They're already here from Friday.
Yeah, well, we are.
But it's nice, though. It's a nice one to be at.
It is, absolutely. One thing, though, that everybody agrees with is how notoriously difficult this racetrack is, because it's sand.
Yes.
When you look around the racetrack, if you get views of the infield where it's generally quite flat, look to the racetrack. They've built it up maybe 2 feet, so, you know, good sort of 24 inches or so. That means it's going to be at least that deep, and then when it goes through the original base, that's going to be even deeper, even heavier. We've got hot temperatures this weekend, about 29, 30 degrees. Not a lot of breeze. It's going to be humid.
Not going to be an easy one.
Some people call it Sufferfest.
Oh, really?
Because they know they're going to come here and they are going to suffer. But, you know, it's one of those that we all look forward to witnessing and enjoying from the sidelines, I should say, because
no, exactly that.
It's easier from my commentary booth to call a lap of the race than to ride it these days.
Yeah, exactly that. But I do believe that Stefan's almost here. But, yeah, this track here, it's not going to be an easy one for the guys, but that's what people expect.
Yeah.
That's what you expect when you come here, Longwood.
Yeah. Well, look, let's bring him in, shall we? If you just put your headset on there, sir.
You look a bit flustered, Stefan Everts. Everything okay?
Cable over the shoulder. You're right there. You've been busy.
Take a breath.
That's okay. Yeah,
Take a breath.
There we go.
Sorry.
No problem.
Breathe.
You know what? In all the years that he was racing, we never saw him this flustered.
No, hang on. Turn it.
It only goes this side, no?
Here we go.
Here we go.
1 second.
It's
Are we
never a
good?
dull moment with you, Stefan.
No, I need to go to the backside.
And
You're here now.
relax.
Everything's
Yeah.
good in the world. You're here.
So, my apologies for being late.
No problem.
And the reason was my watch was 10 minutes late, and I'm watching, I'm on time.
Yeah.
And then Ben called me and
And I called you,
Yeah,
and then I was told it was maybe in a signing session. And
But you made
and all
an
of that.
entrance.
Yeah.
You made an entrance,
Yeah.
and no one's done that before. So
First
there you
time.
go.
First
There we
time for
go.
everything.
Well, look, so we've got, so the plan is to talk 96 and 2006, okay, because we're in 2026, so 20 years ago and 30 years ago. So in 1996, obviously you were 250cc world champion. You came into that year from Kawasaki to Honda, new team, new everything. What do you remember about sort of the off-season, first of all? Was it an easy transition? Was it quite difficult? Or was it just business as usual, did it seem?
No, it was a big change. You know, my dream was to be a HRC rider for a long time since I was a small kid. And 96 was the year that I moved to Honda, and it was run by Colin Reed, RWJ. And I didn't really have a lot of experience with the team, but I remember the winter time I was training, practicing on a stock bike because we didn't have the factory bikes yet. They came in really late. And then at one point we made a test in Spain, and the bike was so incredible good that after one lap I said, all good.
Yeah, and that's
So-
it.
Wow.
And from there on, the story started, and 96 has been a quite difficult year, not only for myself, but also with the team.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to unpack that a little bit, Stefan. You got off to a strong start, won the first 2 rounds. Then Monique Bavorts gained that momentum. You started to struggle. That was a difficult few rounds for you. Why was that?
Well, mainly because the second GP in Valkenswaard, I was ill. I was having fever, and I was calling my doctor Sunday morning, and I said, listen, I got here 39 fever. What should I do? He said, yeah, take these and these pills and go and race. And that was my biggest mistake.
Yeah.
So I went and raced with a fever, and it just broke down my physical shape completely. So I took a week off, and I said, okay, the next British Championship, I'm not going to ride. Colin was not so happy that I didn't attend the race. And then we went to Germany. The first moto I got third, and the second moto I was done.
Yeah.
I said, what happened? And from there on, I couldn't move anymore. And that was all due racing with the fever. It just broke down my physical condition completely.
Yeah, well, you went 10 races without a win. Monique won 8 of those 10 races. In terms of your frame of mind mentally, where were you at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I was really down, and I was like, yeah, when it's going to change, it's going to take, of course, some time. And Marnik was having his momentum. He was winning and winning, and he was taking a big lead until we got to Foxhill, and there the turning point came.
Yeah. What was it about Fox Hills then? Because obviously it was a venue that you liked so much. You won there 3 times in a row, I think, 95, 6 and 7, including that one in 96. What was it about that place that, you know, you performed so well? And did you already go there before that weekend going, this is where we turn things around? Or you weren't sure at that point?
No, because we was also struggling with the bike setup. Like I remember Mantova, when Marnik went to Moros, I was complaining all weekend that the bike was not running properly. And then they said it was me, it was not the bike. And then we came to Foxhill, and Mr. Yamazaki was there, the head of Honda engineers. And that weekend my bike ran properly again. So the mechanic back then was doing things on the bike that we didn't know.
Sure.
But I mean, I'm not stupid. I know when the bike is running properly and when not. But they always gave me the impression it was me who was, because I was not feeling good and I was not riding well and blah, blah, blah. But in Foxhill, when Mr. Yamazaki was there, it all ran good.
Yeah.
And Foxhill, for me, was such a great track. It gave me always that great feeling. And, you know, you got this traction, but you don't have traction when you get on the white stones. Then you need to have the throttle control.
Sure.
It just had all those technical combinations what made me ride so good in Foxhill.
Yeah.
Well, the championship went down to the final round. You clinched it with a first and a third. Describe the emotion, Stefan, of getting that world title.
Yeah, it was a very difficult emotion because I didn't tell you the rest of the story yet. Foxhill, I win 2 motos. I took 40 points, but then they analyzed my fuel, and it was 89.1 octane in my fuel, so they skipped my 40 points.
Yeah.
So I went from minus 71 points to minus 90 points or something. So then Dave Grant, he was fighting it in court against the FEM, and he proved him that when you go to a fuel station and you pump gas, and there was more octane before in the fuel can, that it can, how you say, interfere.
Yeah. I had similar things that same weekend, me and Tortelli, ahead of going to Nîmes in Belgium in 96. Yeah, the weekend later.
So then coming back to the final race, you know, we were still not sure if I would get my 40 points back, but I needed those 40 points to be world champion. So it was a very strange championship at the end.
Yeah, your emotions going. It's like a roller coaster, isn't it?
And plus, you know, of course, the side of Burwoods and the Suzuki team, they were not in favor of all that circus, what was going on with the fuel. Plus, we did a protest against Marnik, who jumped off the track in Ivendik, and they took his points away because he got outside assistance. So that was such a crazy year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going to say there was a lot of political kind of BS behind the scenes going on. What do you remember about that? You seem to remember quite a lot about that with the fuel, the Ivendik and all the rest
fever,
of it. Yeah.
You know, the illness, it was
intense, isn't it?
And still I managed to keep my focus, especially from Foxhill on. I said, there's only one thing I need to do, is go and win.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to skip straight to the 2006 season, now that you've had a chance to breathe.
Yeah, I mean, we can go on for hours about the 96 year, but...
Yeah.
But, OK, so fast forward then. Obviously, you won your last MX1 title, as it was known then. It was 5 in a row prior to then. And then, obviously, to go there to win 6 in a row and title number 10, 101 Grand Prix victories. The bike from 05 to 06 was the same bike or was it an upgrade? I think it was a new bike.
Completely new bike.
Yeah.
So 2001 and 2, we had a prototype Yamaha 500, and then we got a new edition or new bike, which I raced 3, 4, and 5, and then for 6. Because I was already complaining in 2004, I wasn't happy anymore with the bike. So they did some small changes on the triple climb and stuff. So 5 was again better, but I needed something new. And 6, they came with this brand new bike, and it was on top. It was just so good.
Yeah.
Well, with that new bike, did you know immediately that without any other problems that you could win a 10th world title. And if you did know that, what was that feeling when you got that bike?
No, because the past learned me and teach me that when you go out testing, and I was in the past super happy during the winter time. I was like, this is the bike. Here I'm gonna, you know, kill them all. And I wasn't too sure about it anymore because many times I was not right. That I struggled with the bike during the year. I made some wrong decisions in the winter time, which I believe was the best ones. So going to this last season with this new bike, I had such a great feeling on in the winter, but I was like, no, let's wait and see. We first need to see the proof when it's really true.
Yeah.
And then we just knocked off, and I just went whole shot, win, second, win.
Yeah, well,
crazy.
As you said, you dominated. Well, you didn't say, but win. You dominated the season. You won the first round in Zolder with a second and a first. You won in Spain, Belpuig, with a third and a first. That triggered a run of 22 race wins in a row, which was fantastic consistency that I don't think we'd ever seen before. How much was the bike? How much was you? And obviously, of course, it was all you.
No, it was a combination. It's all about the combination.
Yeah.
It's like a watch, you know.
Yeah.
You know, everything needs to be right. Otherwise, the watch is not going right. And I think this is not going right because I was
You need a new watch sponsor.
Anyhow, no, it all just came together. I was just at the top of my game, and I just built up for this last season.
Yeah.
It was my farewell tour worldwide, and I just wanted to do good. I hope to go for the 10 championship and to go for the 100 GP wins. It was on the back of my mind. It pushed me a lot during the winter to get physically ready. And at one point my dad said he saw me in Spain because I did my trainings in Spain, and he saw me and he said, "Are you normal? You know, is something wrong?" He called the doctor, and I said, "No, I gotta be fit. I gotta be the fittest ever." And I just went into that season with no expectations. I just went from race to race, and I just said, okay, every race I need to prove it again, that maybe I can win again. We'll see. You know, first we got to put the puzzle together. And if you can bring the momentum, you can bring the magic. When you have the magic, you have the win or the podium.
We need to get through these final three questions real quick.
Very quickly. Two of those race wins came in Matterley Basin. What was it about that track that you liked so much? 5th Grand Prix victory on British soil, that was.
Yeah, I think that was the very first time we raced Matterley Basin, and that year was very dry. You see, it was slightly dusty. I think I made a crash in the second moto, and I dropped back to P6, and I still managed to win the moto. I don't know. Matterley was a fantastic track with a lot of cool jumps. The Nations was even better because we had more the ruts, and yeah, I don't know. I just like Vauxhall and Namur and Matterley. Just have these tracks, and when I go there, I was 10% better.
Actually, your dad won in 1975, not far from Matterley, at Ladies Mile in Portsmouth. Liam won a 125 European Championship at Matterley 15 years or so after you won yours, or 10 years or so after you won your last race there. Your 10th title, though, came at Ernée. Sorry, you won in Namur.
Namur,
I was there that day, that weekend. Magical moment, 10th Grand Prix. Joel Robert was there, all the fans were there. To win a title at home doesn't get any better than that, does it? And of course, we've got a Champions montage clip as well coming up.
No, it took me 10 years or 10 championships to win at least one in Belgium. You know, I won a few in Loket, and then I did one in Japan, and in Poland I've won one, and in Holland. But I was so happy to finally win my 10th championship.
This was the 100.
Fans.
This was 100 in Lierop.
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
But yeah, a fantastic season.
Yeah.
It's bringing back some emotions there, isn't it, watching this?
Yeah.
Nice. No, I wasn't expecting that reaction, but it just shows what it means. But you've always had a fashion sense. The gold here and the white.
I call it Elvis Presley suit.
And this was your final GP in Ernée, I believe.
Yeah, it's the same like Ernée. I was saying, like Vauxhall and Namur, these tracks, and Ernée was also one of these tracks where I had a lot of successes, like winning those 3 GPs in one day. It was also in Ernée, and you know, doing my last ever GP win was there also, and yeah, it was a fantastic farewell from all the riders where I compete with. It was just a great end for me.
Yeah. Well, in terms of numbers and stats, before we let you go, 10 world titles, 100 Grand Prix victories, 166 podiums, 171 race wins, 287 top 3 race finishes, 14 Motocross of Nations medals, 5 of those as a winner, gold for Belgium. Wasn't too bad, was it? The career in the end?
I can be happy.
How long did it take you to work that out?
I'm on top of my stats, don't you worry about that. But
I'm super happy, but then sometimes I think, yeah, if I had this and that, you know, I could have done even more.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't miss 2 years with injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually more, I think 3 years with injury because
Yeah,
94 I did my collarbone when I lost against Albertine.
Yeah.
Then 98 I lost from Tortelli, but I had that DNF in where was it, in Brazil,
Maybe.
and some more, but whatever, you know. 10 was fine, you know. Tinum Tezin, I always say. So.
Yeah. Well, look, once again, congratulations on a fantastic career. Great to have you in here.
Thanks for the invitation.
Hey, not a problem. We just thought it would be very appropriate. Home Grand Prix 2026, 96, 2006, just to cover some of the background of those titles that you accomplished there. But yeah. Good to have you in.
I'm sorry for the delay.
Not a problem, but I'd get a new watch if I were you. Liam, new Christmas present for Dad if you're looking. Anyway, that's it from our studio show this weekend. Thanks to our guest, Cas Valk, and of course, Stefan Everts as well. We are here for the 3rd run in another triple header at the MXGP of Flanders. All the action coming up on screen there. We've got MXGP, MX2, time practice, and of course, we've got Open, EMX, we've got EMX 250 back on the bill. We ran out the day with the qualifying races, MX2, MXGP. So from me, from Lisa, thanks to Stefan, thanks to Cas Valk. We'll see you in 2 weeks when we return with the studio show in Sweden. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.